We've made it to the second half of the 2.5 update here in Wuthering Waves, which means Furlova's banner is gone, and we have 2 rerun banners, both Cantarella and Brant, for the next 2 weeks. We already know in 2.6 we're going to be getting Augusta, who's our Electro Broadblade character, and Iuno, who's our Arrow Gauntlet character, and they're supposed to work together. Again, we're going to get more info with the preview live stream. But if you're debating on pulling on these rerun banners, especially if you're free to play, hopefully I can help you come to a decision on who to choose. Now, if you're looking for guides on both Cantarella and Brant, I have full videos here on the channel going over their kits, everything you're going to need when it comes to echoes, your weapon options. Literally, those videos cover everything you need to know. But if you're still having trouble choosing, in my opinion, Cantarella offers more, especially if you're someone who is free to play. Not that I think Brant is bad by any means, it's just he requires more specified stats and teammates. In regards to what Cantarella can do, she is a Concerto efficiency character, which means she's gonna be a sub-DPS, but what's pretty cool is that her attacks mainly focus around basic attack damage, which means we can focus our stats. Plus, her Forte attacks offer a few bonuses, including being able to slow down enemies, having a burst skill that deals a lot of damage, and also heals your entire team. She also provides coordinate attacks through her Resonance Liberation, which means she can deal damage off-field, similar to how Zezha works. And lastly, she not only buffs Havoc damage, but also Resonance skill damage. Now, obviously, those buffs are perfect for a character like Furlova, for example, so if you pulled for Furlova in the first half of the update, I would highly recommend Cantarella, but she also works with a variety of other characters. If you're free to play, she buffs Havoc Rover extremely well, so if you're a Havoc Rover main, Cantarella is going to be perfect. She'll work with characters like Camellia, although I would recommend using Rochio or Sanwa over Cantarella. She still will be a good option for her. And if you don't have Zezha, Cantarella will work for both Carlotta and Jinchi, buffing both of their Resonance skill damage. Especially with Jinchi, because remember, you need to deal coordinate attack damage to build up Jinchi's Forte bar faster, so when you can use her burst skill, you'll get the most damage out of it. Another thing to note as well is that you don't necessarily need her signature, Whisper of Sirens. Obviously, the Jellyfish is really cool and the perk is fantastic for her, but you don't need her signature for her to be effective. You have a variety of options, including Yinlin's signature String Master, which is pretty much good for any Rectifier, DPS, or Sub-DPS. You can also use Zezha's Rhyme Drape Sprouts because, again, they both deal basic attack damage, which means this one will technically work with Cantarella. If you have Furlova's signature, Lethean Algae, you could use it. Granted, if you have Furlova, just keep it on her. But you can also use the standard Cosmic Ripples, even though you won't get the crit rate or crit damage buffs. Being able to have a basic attack stacking damage bonus will still be good for Cantarella. Even in the 4-star weapon department, you have options, especially if you have the Battle Pass 1 augment. This is really good because you do get the crit rate bump. Genzo Keeper will work as well, even Fusion Accretion. My main point here is that you don't need her signature. You have a variety of Rectifier options. The last thing I'll bring up, which isn't necessarily a big deal, but she has 3 different echo sets that will work on her: Midnight Veil, Empyrean Anthem, and Moonlit Clouds. So if you're going to be buffing a Havoc character, you can use Midnight Veil. If you're going to be playing on Jinchi, Carlotta, or any character that's not Havoc, you can use Empyrean Anthem or Moonlit Clouds. Overall, the point I'm trying to make is that her kit has a variety of bonuses. You have a burst skill, you have healing, and coordinated attacks. She works with a variety of characters, whether they're limited 5 stars or free to play, plus she can fill out the mono Havoc team. That's why I like using Furlova, Cantarella, and Don Jin. If you can replace Don Jin with Rochia, being able to have Furlova buff Don Jin's heavy attack for her Forte is pretty nice. And lastly, you have a variety of weapon and echo options, making her a universal unit. Now, if you've made it this far into the video without going to the comments and saying, Dave, why don't you like male characters? You think Brant is bad? You only like Cantarella because of her outfit, or any comment like that. Number one, I applaud you. Whether you're new here and you can just pick up that I'm not a complete idiot when it comes to this game, or you've been around live streams or in my Discord community and you know my takes on Wuthering Waves. And number two, I never said Brant is bad. It's just that he requires specific stats and specific teammates to really make him shine. Now, if you don't know what Brant does, he's essentially a support character with the burst skill that helps buff fusion characters. His main thing are these spinning in-air attacks, which are good for parrying targets, and a lot of his attacks deal higher basic attack damage, which means we can focus on our substats a little bit more when it comes to echoes. Essentially, when you deal damage with Brant, it fills up his Forte bar every quarter of the way. It heals your entire team, and once it's full, you can use the burst skill that will deal a lot of damage and also give a shield to your entire team. His outro buffs fusion and resin skill damage, which is perfectly catered toward Chun-Li. Now, if you've been around my channel, live streams, or in my Discord, you know that Chun-Li is my GOAT. She's my favorite character. I love her kit. I love her story. And with her getting an outfit last update, you know I had to get it. Brant still can buff characters like Frolova, Carlotta, and Jinchi, although I still would recommend a coordinated attack character for Jinchi. And you could still use Chun-Li, Brant, and a healer, and that would be a good team. But one thing the devs have really been diving into these past couple of updates are the mono damage type teams. You know, Kartathea, Chacona, and Arrow Rover, that heavy focus on arrow erosion. Even Frolova, Cantarella, and Rochia, the mono havoc team. You have everything you need in there in regards to damage and healing. Chun-Li's outro buffs both fusion and resonance aberration damage, which does help a lot of characters, especially if you are free to play. It will work on Havoc Rover. It'll work with Zheng Liao, you know, being able to deal higher resonance aberration damage. But the main character she is catered for is Lupa, who came out last update. Even though Lupa is considered a concerto efficiency character that deals higher resonance aberration damage, she is not a sub DPS. She's pretty much a main DPS worth the burst skill and an enhanced intro skill, which is nuts. And she also buffs fusion and basic attack damage, which guess what? Goes right back into Brant. So unless you have Lupa or Chun-Li, or you plan on getting them in the future, I wouldn't recommend picking up Brant team-wise. The other thing is that Brant's attack actually scales with his energy regen, and you need to have over 150 to even start taking advantage of it. I believe the max is 280%, but even getting up to there is extremely hard, and you need at least 250% to even gain the other bonus from his specific echo set, Tide Breaking Courage. So not only do you need crit rate, crit damage, and basic attack, you also need energy regen as a stat to make sure you even meet the 250 threshold. And the only 5-star sword that has energy regen as a main stat outside of Blood Pack's Pledge, which again is Arrow Rover's specific sword, which buffs resonance skill damage, which Brant doesn't really need, is his signature Unflickering Valor, which also provides a crit rate percentage bump and a basic attack damage bonus with its perk. Now, I will say the standard 5-star Emerald of Genesis is nice because you do get the crit rate and the energy regen in the perk, and all you have to do is use your resonance skill twice to get an attack percentage bonus. That's good. But the only other 5-star sword that would technically work is Camellia's signature Red Spring, which even then, you can't even take advantage of the second part of its perk. And when it comes to 4-star swords, the only energy regen percentage one you have is Overture. Granted, a lot of these swords will work for damage like Commando of Conviction, you know, the Somnoir Anchor, the Battle Pass one, Looming Gloss, Endless Collapse, and even Lunar Cutter, but you need that energy regen to take advantage of the echo set and the kit, which is very hard to do, even if you have 2-3 cost with energy regen as the main stat. You're gonna need it in the substats as well. Again, my goal here isn't to deter you away from pulling Brant. He is a cool character. His kit is definitely unique. It's just the only way he's really going to shine is with that mono fusion team, and also really needing to cater, number one, what weapons you use. Like if you go for a signature, you're pretty much set. You can actually have just one energy regen and one fusion damage bonus 3 cost in your echo set, which is nice. But if you don't go for his signature, building out your echoes is going to be a lot less forgiving, especially if you're trying to reach that 250% energy regen threshold. But that, ladies and gentlemen, is just a little rundown of who I think you should choose with the second half of this 2.5 update. And if you're someone who decided to save your pulls for 2.6 with Augusta and Iuno, you can pretty much ignore this entire video. Or you know what? If for some reason they come back as reruns, or we somehow magically get a limited character pick in the future, which I really hope we do, then hopefully this video is able to help you out. And let me know if you're hyped for the 2.6 update. I believe this is going to be the finale for the Rena Sita story, and having both Augusta and Iuno as the characters next update is going to be phenomenal. I'm getting both. I'm getting both their signatures. I don't care what I have to do. I'm doing every event. I'm achieving every achievement to get as much Astrite as I possibly can. In any event, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to drop a like on it, subscribe to the channel, and turn on that bell next to notifications so you don't miss out on any other Wuthering Waves content we have coming out here on the channel. If you didn't know, we live stream here on YouTube and then also over on Twitch. That link will be in the description. I typically stream Wuthering Waves whenever we have a new update, there's a new event, or a new banner is out, and usually there's always drops available as well, so if you want some extra materials, be sure to tune on into the stream. Also, if you want to join my community, hop in my Discord. That link will also be in the description. We have plenty of people talking about Wuthering Waves, other gacha games, and then plenty of other topics including gaming, tech, and anime. Lastly, if you want to help support the channel even more, you can look into becoming a member. Now, if you don't know what a membership is, it's essentially like a Twitch subscription, but it's technically cheaper. You're going to gain access to exclusive emotes, monthly badges, and the main benefit, which is getting access access to all of my long-form videos early. So if you would like some more information, all you have to do is press the join button next subscribe, and I'll give you a rundown with all the details you need. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it's been your boy. We'll catch you in the next video.
The storm is coming. Come, you know my friend. The best way to greet a storm is to walk straight into it.